Good day. We will now continue with the third set of lecture. In this video, we will talk about the drugs of abuse being used in the Philippines. So what are the common drugs of abuse being used in the Philippines? Before we proceed, we must first classify the different drugs of abuse according to the Dangerous Drugs Board classification. They classify drugs of abuse into prohibited and regulated. Okay. The following are the prohibited drugs. The names in the parentheses, like scab or gatas, are the street names for the drugs. Prohibited drugs includes opium and its derivative, and its active components and derivatives such as heroin and morphine, coca leaf and its derivative, principally cocaine, alpha and beta eucaine, hallucinogenic drugs such as mescaline, LSD, and other substances producing similar effects. Ancient hemp and its derivatives and all preparations made from any of the foregoing and other drugs were natural, whether natural or synthetic, with the physiological effects of narcotic drug is are called prohibited drugs. The following are regulated drugs which can further be subdivided into uppers, downers, hypnotics, and barbiturates. Regulated drugs include self-inducing sedatives such as cicobarbital, phenobarbital, pentobarbital, and any other drug which contains salt or derivative of a salt of barbituric acid. Any salt, isomer, or salt of an isomer of amphetamine, such as benzedrine or dexedrine, or any drugs which produces physiological action similar to amphetamine and hypnotic drugs, such as metacolon or any other compound producing similar physiological effects, are also part of regulated drugs. If you manage a rehabilitation center, you should know that all of these drugs look like. Because parents, boyfriends, or girlfriends of your patients might bring drugs claiming that these are prescription drugs for the patients, but they are actually drugs of abuse. So from the top right, we have Mogadon with the letter M, Valium with the letter B, we have Equispinoy with the cross, and then we have the Barbies or the barbiturates. We have another letter M for Mandrax, and Bubbles or letter A for Ativan. Ativan was made famous by the Ativan gang in the 1980s. These are female personalities who put Ativan in the drinks of their victims, usually AFAMs, who they then rob once they are inside the motel. What are the other drugs of abuse that are used in the Philippines? Well, cigarettes and alcohol are considered gateway drugs because 99% of drug dependents start with either cigarettes or alcohol before graduating to drugs of abuse. The picture from top right to the left, we have at the top rugby being used by street children. Then we have amyl nitrites or poppers, which are used for feelings of euphoria. On the middle section, we have the lampunay or yellow bells. You can commonly see this when you're going to the Tagaytay, and these are hallucinogenic. Then we have peyote, which is also a hallucinogen. And we have GHB or gamma hydroxybutyrate. GHB is a datrate drug, and GHB is usually commonly used by bodybuilders. When dropped on the drink of unsuspecting females, they will be more sexually active and may initiate sex. After the effect of the drug, they would not remember anything or what they had done or who they have been with. Thus, it is the perfect date rape drug. On the lower row, we have Bangkok pills, popular in the 90s as slimming pills. They have the same effect as Shabu. We also have some club drugs, which we'll have more examples later, and nitrous oxide or NOx, which is used in rape parties to get the feeling of intoxication. We also have a lot of new psychoactive substances that are found and rave in the drug abuse market today. Included in these are the BCPs, which mimic ecstasy and are cheaper than ecstasy. The names in the parentheses or in the quotations are street names of the drugs. These are the drug of choice of some of my patients who are doctors from Cebu. So these are surgeons and anesthesiologists coming from Cebu. This is sometimes fatal, so do not attempt to use this. This is a combination of Nobain and methamphetamine, which they inject on themselves. Flaka, or the zombie drug, Gravel. is where the trending visuals of zombies came from before the pandemic. This is more common in the US than in the Philippines. Tuklaw became popular early this year because of the claim of the Philippine government that it contains synthetic marijuana. However, it is illogical and an income-losing strategy to lay cigarettes with synthetic marijuana. With the cost of marijuana and the cost of tuklaw or cigarette stick, which is much cheaper than any other cigarettes in the Philippines, supplier would not be able to recover the cost. But tuklaw does indeed have 9% more potent nicotine content, which is the one causing all of these side effects. We also have magic mushrooms, which became popular in the social media because of the seizure of these drugs in May 18, 2024, from La Union. Next, we will talk about the medical side of drug abuse.